Hey guys, this is Jonathan with Paul & Co Gaming. Hey, welcome everybody. I'm Paul & Co Gaming. What's up? How you guys doing tonight? Hope everyone is having an amazing night so far. Hope everyone's, whatever day today is, this Tuesday has been amazing. Today is a very special stream. It's the start of a new series called the Paul & Co Sessions. We are going to be interviewing different streamers every Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. Central. We're going to be interviewing a bunch of people, anywhere from small streamers, big streamers, any kind of streamers, musicians, public figures, bands, all of that stuff. We're going to be... Ruben, thank you for the 50 stars, dude. Jessica, what's up? How's everyone doing? You guys are amazing. Everybody, thank you for liking the stream. I apologize if I don't get to everybody's alerts. Today's going to be a way different stream. We are going to be interviewing Mr. GiLLionaire Gaming, a longtime friend. We'll get to his story here in a little bit. Just wanted to get started with some chatting going. But this will be a brand new series it'll be a weekly series. We already have more and more people coming in every single week. I'm more than excited about it. But enough of me talking about it. Let's get into it. If you guys have any questions at all, I'm going to post this in here. If you guys have any questions that you guys want to ask Gil, or you want to ask the two of us, ask it. I'm putting it right here. Okay, so there it is. I'm going to be pinning the comment. Be sure to use the hashtag #PaulAndGill if you want to ask us any kind of question. Okay. So without further ado, let's get to our scene. Let's get to the GiLLionaire himself. All right. So welcome to the first episode of the Paul & Co Sessions, Mr. GiLLionaire Gaming. Gil, what's going on, dude?
Yo, what is up? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here, dude, especially on such short notice. For those of you who don't know, I asked Gil yesterday
Literally
to be on here. And I couldn't have gotten a better person to start this series with than one of my longtime friends. So the first thing I want to go ahead and get started. I want to get very, very informal, but also formal. Is the question everybody wants to know: who is GiLLionaire Gaming?
Ooh, that's always like the hardest question, because for me in general, like the way I see GiLLionaire Gaming, he's always been the person who not only continues to like motivate others, but also is like the figure of like doing something that you're most passionate doing. Like I've always loved video games in general, and I played video games for such a long period of time. So like to even be able to be that person and a role model in that type of aspect, like it's exciting for me, because it's like I've always loved doing it forever. And you know, GiLLionaire itself always, it represents like something bigger than myself, which for the longest period of time, I had so many friends, not so many friends, but a lot of friends would call me GiLLionaire because I always wasn't all about myself. I always promoted other people. I promoted people in like in their own special crafts. I promoted them in local businesses, stuff like that. And like now I kind of get an opportunity to do it for myself, my family, and build something for us, which is really, really great. But GiLLionaire itself is, you know, doing what you're most passionate doing, or do what moves you. Because you know, you can definitely succeed in that, and no matter what it is, it could be art, it could be music, it could be whatever the case may be. Whatever you like to do, you can do it, and you could be you could succeed in that, and that's what GiLLionaire always brings to the table.
All right, you guys heard it here first. Gil is he just said in a few words, he's amazing. He's a pretty great guy. I mean, a
selfless.
Very selfless. Yeah. Somebody who went straight from, I'm going to promote everybody else, to, I'm going to actually start this for me, you know? And that's what I think is really cool, that you went from, I'm going to promote everyone, to, I'm still going to promote everyone, but I want to get in this with just me. That's the one thing I think is the coolest thing about your story and how you're getting your stream started. We do have a couple of questions from the chat, and we'll kind of give both takes on this. Tony said, how long have you guys been friends or known each other? So Gil and I met back in 2005.
Yeah.
No, that's wrong. It's 2000. Let's see. We were in the sixth grade.
Sixth grade.
So that was 2004.
Yeah.
2004, 2003. Like that was a lot. It's been almost 20 years. It's been crazy. Yeah. Like I've known Gil since we were like 11 or 12 years old.
Yep.
And here we are, 29. Still, like, we didn't talk for a while. I mean, when I moved to Texas, especially, I mean, we didn't talk up until like May or April of this year. Yeah. But it's, I mean, we've known each other for a long time. It's really cool that, at least for me, it's been really cool to the fact that we didn't talk, and then just like it was the streams that kind of brought us a little bit more together. And I mean, we've just been on fire since then.
Yeah, I mean, to even just go back and kind of tell like my side of the story, like me and Jonathan, when we were going to school and when we met in sixth grade, like I was a totally different person. Like Jonathan could even knows that today. Like I was a different person. I was like in different cliques all the time. Jonathan was just in the band clique, and I used to, actually, not gonna lie, I used to tease Jonathan all the time because I was into sports and he was into band. I mean, we're total opposite people. But we remained in contact. We had a really close mutual friend that still remains in contact with both of us today, from elementary school too as well. And then during the course of time, especially when Jonathan left the Central Valley, like we lost complete contact. I think we only added each other on Facebook, and then that's the only reason we kind of seen each other, but we never talked to each other. That was like for sure thing. Like
definitely.
I've seen him posting his high school stuff. I'm sure you've seen me doing the same thing. But we never ever talked to each other. And then what ended up happening was that this year, actually, when you started, or I seen you frequently stream, and that was like around the time when like I was curious in streaming, and that was due to Rayhe, Gaming with Rayhe, just saying. He kind of piqued my interest in streaming. And then I seen you stream like consistently, and I was like, okay. And then I popped into a couple of your streams. I was like, this is dope. And then from that point on, like we kind of remained in huge contact. Yeah. We're both like literally talk on a daily basis. Literally.
Yeah, it's very rare when you get friends that literally, like, as soon as I get to work or as soon as I'm about to stream, the two of us are always exchanging that good morning, dude, how you doing? Like, what's going on? It's amazing how like I said, like even though we didn't talk for 15 to 20 years, like we started chatting again, and I think we're better friends than we were back then.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I would say that we're a lot better friends now than we were back then. That's for sure.
Yeah, one cool tip, or not tip, a fact about me and Gil. Gil is one of the first person that got me into like more of the computer RPG type games. I remember,
StarCraft?
yes, dude. There was one day I went over to Gil's house, and he's like, yeah, I'm playing StarCraft, and I was like, what the hell is StarCraft? And he showed me. I was like, this game is so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was around the time, like, you know, that's when World of Warcraft initially came out and stuff like that. But we were playing all the the games before World of Warcraft, like StarCraft and Diablo 2. That was like my main niche during that time frame. But man, this is just crazy how long and how much it's evolved.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's been a crazy journey. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to one of my questions.
Sure.
We're gonna be cycling in mine in chats because I've gotten quite a few questions in chat that I would love for you to answer.
Sure.
So this is the generic streamer question is, what made you want to get into streaming?
Oh, okay. So what like initially started the interest in getting into streaming was Ray from Gaming with Ray. He actually, me and him actually connected in person because he works at a bank. He works at a bank and he became my personal banker, but we connected through video games. That's like literally what we talked about all the time. And then out of nowhere, he would start saying, hey, I'm starting to stream. You should catch one of my streams. And I was like, okay. But at that point though, like I never really watched streamers. Like I always see them and stuff like that pop up all the time. That wasn't my thing. Like I didn't play video games as much because I was doing all my other stuff. So I was promoting other people. I was doing, you know, those types of things. And I never focused on myself, and I never ever like it was just one of those things. And then what ended up happening was that initially when Ray piqued me into like watching him, I watched him do like one of the streams, like, oh, that's cool. I could do that. Like I could hella do that, you know? And then I was like, I could play video games and this could be cool. Like I kept saying that. Eventually, like my cousins I was playing with Call of Duty, they kept telling me like, hey, dude, you should just record your games. Just record your games. Like you never know. You'll have fun, and you don't know. It'll be fun, bro. And I was like, okay, fine, let's record games. Started recording games, and then I started watching you. You start popping up on my feed all the time, and I was like, oh snap, oh, one of my longtime friends, he's streaming, hell yeah. And I was like, okay, so I kept watching you pop up. I was like, okay. And then at that point I was just like, I could do that. Like I could definitely do that. Like I could play video games in front of people, enjoy my time, and do something I'm passionate about. And then obviously during the pandemic time frame, there's so many things that happened during the pandemic. Like one, I was laid off for a period of time just due to weird things that went on. And when I got laid off, that was when I was just like, perfect. Like I could focus on myself. I could do something for me, because I've always was like one of those hard worker type of dudes. So like I never took time off from work or anything like that. So I was like, perfect. That's when streaming started becoming like a little bit of a thing. So it was like, okay, I'm gonna record my games now, and then I'm gonna buy a crappy camera and see if I could get on camera. And then so I started doing those types of things, and then it just slowly progressed into what it is today, with your help, of course. And I did go and ask you a lot of questions, like what type of things should I buy? What can, you know, you were a huge guide to streaming, and I'm super grateful for you, Dean. Thank you.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you.
But yeah, like, man, just hearing you talk, it's like you had so many people that pushed you toward streaming. Like for me, like I had Manny that was like, yeah, dude, like streaming's fun. Like you should try it. And for like on my side, it was like, I was like, I've been wanting to stream. Like I tried to stream. What was it, like 8 years ago? Like 7 or 8
Yeah,
years
yeah.
ago, and I just did it for a couple months. Didn't really care for it. Didn't have the computer for it, and just did. I was like, I did my like month on Twitch, and that was it. But with you, like it's so awesome to hear that you had so much support from the beginning. Like from the beginning, it's like, dude,
it
do it.
wasn't necessarily like support. I think in all aspects, yes, in a general eyes, it looks like it was support because people are telling me to do it and stuff like that. But at the same time, I didn't know what streaming actually was. Like I thought it was like, okay, I'm just gonna record my games and have fun with it and then make some clips off of it. But then after a while, you kind of like realize that streaming's more than that. There's so much more behind the scenes of streaming and stuff like that. But I do like, I appreciate all the support that I've gotten, all the people that's told me to just try it out and just do it, because you never know, because that was huge.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that you from the beginning, like the two of us were kind of, we always talked about it, and the one thing I wish that I had from the get-go was like that person to just say like, man, just hit the stream button, just do it. Because I remember when you started, like I remember like I was always just like I was like, dude, if you want to do it, just do it. Just get straight in it. That's something
you still do that today.
Yeah. Like anytime you have a down day, you're like, man, I don't know. Like I kind of like I'm kind of not feeling like, man, it's gonna change as soon as you hit play. And that's what I try to tell every streamer that I've encountered. And I know you're starting to do the same thing. You're like, you're encouraging people to get into streaming. I know there have been several people. I know Ruben here in the chat was one person that we were both like, dude, just get into it. Same thing with Javin. And there's a couple others that are in the chat or not in the chat that either you've talked to or we both talked to that have kind of been pushed into it. Like, man, if that's something you want to do, go for it. Like
I mean, that's the number one like advice that I could even give anyone. Like, I even told Ruben the other night when he came over that like, dude, I still get nervous till this day to push in front of like right before I stream, my heart's racing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna be, like I literally still have that feeling in my gut like all the time. And then the second you push go, it's just like go, and then you're just like doing your thing. And that's the best part though, is that like that's the biggest advice I would say to anyone that's even looking into streaming is like, dude, just push play, just go. You're gonna mess up and don't even worry about it, because the people that are gonna be there to support you, they're gonna be there to support you whether it looks like crap or if it's great. They're just gonna be there anyways. And the great thing is that those are the times that like the times you don't want to go are the times that they're the best. Like, for real, dude. Like the ones that I felt like I did not want to go and you told me to just do it anyways, dude, like those were the best ones.
Yeah, because what it is, I've noticed a lot of streamers have had is they get it's the nerves that back them off. Like it's the nerves. So one thing that I've learned more as a musician than anything, because as a musician, when you go to perform, you have like the biggest knot in your stomach. And the best advice that I was given was feed off of it. Feed off of your nerves. Yep. And I know I've told you that, like, man, if you get nervous, play off of it. Yeah. You find ways. Like, you have an amazing niche on your page. Like, I've seen people comment about it, and I started commenting it, calling you the DJ GiLLionaire. always have the hyped up music. You have the dance breaks. You command your audience. It's amazing to watch. Like,
I mean, I think that really has to come back to like my wife and I, we go out dancing, we go raving, and we like, that was our thing before we started having to stay in because of the pandemic and stuff like that. It's like the whole idea of like plur, or like that's in the rave community, but it's like peace, love, unity, and respect. Like, we lived by that for such a long time. And like when I started streaming, it's like I wanted to project that energy out towards the people and the audience. Is like, because like what peace, love, unity, and respect is, it's just like, you being you, but at the same time respecting other people to the point where like they're loving it as well. And like you're being yourself, they're being themselves, everyone could be themselves and enjoy it all together, you know? And that's what I wanted to portray in the GiLLionaire Gaming, like in the streams. That's why like my music's always hype. That's why I'm always hype. Like, trust me, dude, like there's times where I'm like dying of my water break, like, like, you know, like, dude, trust me. Like, but at the same time, like, dude, this is fun though. It's a good time.
Yeah.
You know?
And that kind of goes into like energy on stream is like a huge thing. Like you could be like you said, you're like dying on the inside, but like it pumps you up in the stream, but it also it creates that energy in your chat. I know your chat loves it. Like I know anytime you're like, okay, we're gonna go into a dance break, whether it's when you were with Zyphorus and every time you leveled up, you had to level up dance break. I thought that was the coolest idea. I was like, man, if I could dance even a little bit, like I should have done that.
Trust me, I can't dance. That's the funniest part. It's like I'm terrible at dancing. Like there's certain things I could do that are cool, but like trust me, like it's not that good. But it's fun. It's entertaining. That's all that really matters. Yeah, you know?
Like
I've
I always
enjoy it.
Yeah, I've always said that I have like the car, like the sitting in the car dance moves, like the shoulders get moving, the arms get moving. That's about it. And that's about the bulk of mine. And you actually get up and you're just like hyped up with everybody. I love it. We have a question here from Jessica, saying, what advice would you give somebody who's debating starting up a streaming page or community?
Okay. I mean, so if you're thinking about starting like a streaming page and community actually go hand in hand, to be honest with you, because once you start streaming, the next step is to create a community with your stream, right? So then you have an audience, you have a group of people, and you're working together to build something that's bigger than just your stream. Because the truth is, if you look at how Pol & Co and even how even how Father and Son Nerd Review, like how we built our stream, like we built it off of like messages, and Pol & Co is all about spreading the love, which I embrace it 110%. Like hell yeah, spread the love. You know, I'm about like doing what moves you, doing what you're most passionate about, dude, hell yeah. And being the light for other people, that's huge. Like, dude, there's so many people that just need to smile, and you could be that smile on people's faces. And like, so to answer the question is, the best advice I could give you is what I said earlier. Just do it. Just try it. Like you never know, because maybe your message is going to be strong enough. Maybe your niche is going to be better than other people's niches. Anything can necessarily happen. Will you be creating a community while you create your stream? Yeah, of course. Like, you know, that's it goes hand in hand. So my advice would be, just do it, try it out. You never know, because like the truth is that like you might just enjoy the ride, and it might be something bigger than you even ever expected, which that's kind of like where we're at right now. Like I never expected to be here. Yeah,
exactly. Like you never know what's gonna happen, especially in streaming. You never know. Like you could be like, I'll use both sides. You could be the biggest flop ever, or you could be the biggest success, or you could be right in the middle. But I mean, everybody that's in here, a lot of them have seen both of us from the very beginning. And if you go back, I wish I would have had clips like prepared for it, but to like see my like your first streams were a million times better than my first streams. My first streams are so bad, but like learning the OBS software, doing all of that, like that is the hardest part. I say for the hardest part of streaming is learning the OBS software 110%.
Yeah, that's for sure the hardest. That's the hardest.
But you're talking about all of our messages, like the hashtag DWMI or MY or do what moves you. Elaborate on that a little bit. I want to know, like, I want to know, they probably want to know a little bit more about what do what moves you means.
Yeah, so do what moves you. That was something that like Ruben and I actually discussed like before I even started streaming. It was like the message that, because one thing that I did before streaming was we were promoting literally small businesses out here in the Central Valley to help grow the local economy, so then it could make a bigger impact, right? And I was literally helping also local artists like rappers, musicians, all that stuff, like pursue what they really wanted to pursue, so then they can succeed in what they really, really wanted, like in their passion, right? Like where, like I even have a friend that does pancake art for a living, like
That's
literally
so cool.
pancake art for a living, and she is huge. Like now she's like really big, and she's from here in the valley, and like I watched multiple people like just succeed in those types of things, and all I did was promote them. I was like, dude, you guys should go to this event because this person's gonna be there. And literally that's what I did. And even for the local business, like, you guys should go to this local business because there's gonna have a local event. And like I did that over and over and over again. And so what moves you is, that's the GiLLionaire message. It's like, you can do what you are passionate about and still succeed in it. It doesn't even matter what it is. Like I have friends that just do art for a living. Like I have friends that do like literally painting and like drawing and tattoos. Like they're literally pursuing what they really, really wanted to do for the rest of their life, and they are successful in those types of things. And that's the message, is whatever moves you, whatever you want to become successful in, you can do it. It doesn't matter what it is. It really doesn't.
Exactly. So kind of like piggybacking off of the whole do what moves you. Now, talking about how you used to promote other people, and you were, you know, that selfless nature. What challenges have you come in as far as promoting yourself? Has it been hard, or has it been easy?
No, that's the hardest.
Yeah.
Like I can't express how hard that is, because like I never ever really like to talk good like about myself. That's not like, am I confident in certain things? Yes. Am I weak in other things? Yes. Do I want my page to become huge and stuff like that? Yes. But at the same time, it's like, what I realize, and the biggest challenge is not just promoting yourself. It's like just getting you out there. Because what is more impactful? Let me ask you something, Paul. What's more impactful? Is it if I go out there and tell people how great you are, or is it when you tell people how great you are?
Oh, it's 100% when someone else does it. It's so hard. It's so hard to go out and tell everybody, hey, I'm amazing. You should come and see me because I'm so great. Because then everyone's like, I'm not gonna watch you.
Exactly.
And
that's the hardest part.
And I think in a turn, or to kind of turn it around, when you're promoting other people now that you have your own brand, you have your own community, and when you're promoting yourself without even realizing it, I mean, when we promote other people, we're promoting ourselves because you're showing how selfless you are, how genuine of a person you are. And that's something that you know, that I think the two of us have a grasp on. And we don't really promote other people to promote ourselves. We're here to help everyone else. I have my, you know, our message that spread the love. You have do what moves you. You have the be a light. With all three of those, like me, like on my message, your message, father and son nerd reviews, like they all go hand in hand. You can't do what moves you if you're not spreading love and you're not being a light in somebody else's life. You know?
Exactly. That's why I embrace your message, and I embrace like father son's message, because it's like, it is powerful. Because if you think about it, exactly what you're saying, you can't even do what moves you if you don't even, if you're if you only think about yourself, especially in what we're doing right now, like, you know, as new streamers and as new, like getting into something new, right? If you're thinking about yourself all the time, like, dude, your community won't even like you because you're just talking about yourself. Like it is so much more powerful when you're being selfless. And when you're not even thinking, like, who cares about the success that you're having as of right now, or not even the success that you're having? It doesn't even matter. It's like genuinely care about other people, because the truth is that, like, I remember those times when it was a struggle to get to 100 freaking followers. It was hard, bro. Like,
that's the hardest part. It feels
that's
like.
what I'm saying is, like, you know, if you could be, go out there and like help them, like in long term, they're eventually like people will help you too, but you just don't have to think about it that way. You have to think about it so selflessly that like literally you're just doing it because you just love doing it, you know, because I like promoting other people way more than I love promoting myself, that's for sure.
Yeah. And one thing that one of my mods, but also one of our good friends, Christine said, is if you put good into the world and good's gonna come back. It's karma.
Exactly.
It's 100% karma. You do something good and something good's gonna come back. And that's the one thing I love that the two of us kind of embrace, but also like I said, it's not our main focus. Our main focus isn't to get that good karma. It's just to spread good karma.
Yeah, you know? I mean it. You know, exactly that. It's not to. That's not our focus. Our focus is to really just help the other people around you, because like if you're just helping the others around you, like eventually, like it does come around, that good karma comes around to help you, but you just don't even think about it that way. We do it because we're passionate about making sure that other people succeed as much as we're succeeding. That's the truth, you know. Like it would be nice to watch other people succeed. Like I mean I'll give a shout out to like Javin, for instance. Like dude, like even just knowing that he was barely started streaming in Facebook, like dude, like this dude is super passionate. He's like really, really great. Like he just needs like people in front of him. Like, dude, I know for a fact that he's going to become successful in this. And there's 100%. A whole bunch of people that like will know that this dude is going to be successful in it. And like, just if you feel it, then other people are going to feel it too. Does that make sense?
Oh, 100%.
Because we all have good judgment. And that's what I do know.
Yeah.
Got good judgment.
Speaking of Javin, we do have a question from him.
Sure.
He said, how do you find balance between work, life, and streaming?
Oh, man.
That's the $1 million question.
Dude, that's the $100 billion. That's the $GiLLionaire question right
For
there.
Real.
Oh, my gosh. That's the hardest question that I'll probably run across tonight, man. Like, I struggle with that today. I struggle with that, dude. Not only do I like have you know, a regular 9-to-5 type of job, but it's like right after I still have my son, have my wife, I have streaming, I have, you know, now I know that my streaming sessions are only 4 hours, which are really, really nice, because, you know, it's nice to know when you set an actual time frame on how long you're gonna be doing something. So like now, like I kind of, right after I go to work, it kind of goes into like eating, making sure food's done, making sure my son's homework's done. And then, okay, 6 o'clock, now it's time. I know I'm going to play until 10. And then from after 10, then I'm going to just hang out with my family again. But it's literally scheduling it, dude. Like literally you have to schedule yourself.
Right.
Like there are days where like even days like on Wednesdays or like days where I just can't, dude. Like I need to spend time with my family. I still gotta spend time with my wife. Like, dude, I don't want her to feel lonely, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, we got to a point where at one point in time, like she was feeling a little bit lonely because it was just me overworking myself. Like I was literally killing myself trying to do everything. Like whether it's work, stream, and like entertain and do, you know, it was just too much. So like sometimes you just gotta take a step back, take a breather, just realize, man, like, yes, you're building something, but at the same time, it's not so important that it's not more important than your family, you know?
Yeah.
So your family is always number one. You just gotta make that apparent out there.
Yeah. And I think the best advice that I was ever given as far as like trying to balance everything is set a schedule. Like you have your time to where, like you were saying, like, you know, from this time to this time, it's going to be just 4 hours of the day that you're going to go and you're going to be in the stream. After that, you're with your family, you're at work, you're doing all of that. So I think the best thing is find the time and stick to the times. You know, if you have a consistent work schedule, stick with just that work schedule. Like stick with what works around that work schedule on those certain days. Or if you have a time, like if you work the same times for the most part, find something right outside those times and be consistent with it. That's the best way to balance.
Though. You need consistency though.
Definitely.
Right. So that's like number one thing too. You need consistency too with your stream, because you need to make sure that other people know the times that you're going to also be on too. Because, you know, we all have audiences that kind of wait for us. So that is very important. But, you know, again, that's the reason why I don't stream on Sundays or play video games, because at that family time, dude, balance.
Yeah. So kind of moving forward from this, what was the one, if you can pick one spot or one point in the past, because you've been streaming since June, so you're hitting your 6th month now. You've been going for about 5 months. What was the point where you're like, I can do this, and then and run with it?
Oh man,
what was that turning point?
Honestly, I think the turning point for me, like when I felt like I could do it, was when I realized that streaming it's not only a passion of mine, but like it's also an opportunity to build something for myself and my family. That's when it kind of like changed a little bit my mindset, was because like, yeah, like I was telling you, I build other people's businesses, but at the same time, it's like when I realized that I could build something for us, that's when I was like, okay, I could definitely do this. And then with the switch of playing from Call of Duty all the time, like 24/7, that's literally all I did. And then switching it from a 2-game stream into like World of Warcraft, which is a game I played since 2004. And then switching it from Call of Duty and having 2 separate audiences. That's when I also knew that like I could do something with this, because now I'm playing World of Warcraft where I'm comfortable in it. I love that game. I've been loving that game. Like spent majority of my life playing that game.
Yeah.
And like I'm not feeling like a noob where like in Call of Duty, like I'm good, but like sometimes, bro, you got some bad days, you know? You get some bad days. I don't want to get stomped on all day, every day for 4 hours straight.
You're here saying some bad days, man. It's like every day for me when I get on. But let's kind of go into the next thing. Is you were talking about how you switched over to World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Like where you're kind of doing both. How shocked was your community when you're like, hey man, on this day we're gonna be playing some World of Warcraft? And then it turned into half of your stream, like half of your week is World of Warcraft now.
Yeah.
It started with like you did like 1 day this week, and then you did 2 days, and now you do 2 to 3 days depending on the week. Like how much of a culture shock was it for your community to see, you know, their hype guy, their Call of Duty guy playing World of Warcraft?
Oh man, I'm sure. I can't honestly answer for the community. All I could say is that before I even decided to do it, I did do a poll on whether or not I should play World of Warcraft or not. And I'll tell you this much, everyone said no. That's just because like, you know, for the longest time, like from June all the way up until like whenever you started playing World of Warcraft, was all Call of Duty. Like, I don't think I barely streamed any other games, dude. Like I think I streamed like Minecraft Dungeons with my son a couple of times, but that was like in the very beginning. But like for the longest time, it was literally Call of Duty. So I built my whole community off of Call of Duty. So when I said I was gonna play like some random like, oh, this is an RPG game, like for real, I'm pretty sure a lot of people or some people were disappointed in it. But at the same time, look, you gotta do what is gonna like not only do something for your community, but also at the same time you gotta think about like yourself too. Like, are you happy playing that video game? Are you happy competing in a saturated market? Are you you know, things like that. You gotta think about that type of stuff. And like, you know, like for me, shoot, the switch to World of Warcraft, in my mind, I'm like, boom, hell yeah, World of Warcraft. I've been playing that game all day, you know.
Man,
like if I could.
If you guys didn't know, as soon as I started streaming World of Warcraft and I was like, I'm back in it, Gil's like, all right, man, I'm going. I'm getting a subscription. We're playing. Let's go.
Oh, hell
like,
yeah.
Like he said at first that I like twisted his arm. I was like, nah, dude, you already had like one step in as soon as I said I was going to play.
And that's literally how it was. Like, I'm sure that it did kind of like steer the community a little bit, and I'm sure maybe some people left, some people come back. The good thing is I haven't let go of Call of Duty at all.
Yeah.
Like, I still play it, and people that love Call of Duty will hop in the Call of Duty ones. People that love World of Warcraft will hop in World of Warcraft. That's why I post my schedule. I just want to make sure that it's flexible for everyone. They could see exactly what I'm gonna do. So like, you guys know what days to hop in, what days not to hop in. Hop in both. I mean, I have a couple of people that played in Call of Duty that want to play World of Warcraft. People that play World of Warcraft want to play Call of Duty. I'm cool with that too. Let's go.
Yeah, and like, it's so cool to see that your communities are starting to blend a little bit more. Like, they're not.
Hey, look, guess what I make now?
Help you?
Hold on, bud. Hold on, Daddy's.
I like how we both had distractions at the same time.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Yeah, he's been like really creating Legos right now, like just off of imagination, and they're pretty crazy, dude. Like, yeah, some cool stuff that he made.
So, let's go into your family and what you do outside of the stream and everything. So, like, what are some hobbies that you like to do other than playing video games, or like, what are some things that either you like to do as a hobby or your family does as a hobby?
Okay, so I mean, as of right now, which you already know, this is kind of difficult to even have any type of hobbies just due to the fact of the whole pandemic and all that stuff. Like, it's super hard to even be able to go out. So my wife and I, and our son, we like to go out and eat at various different restaurants. That's like definitely one of the main things that we do. For a long period of time, I was taking my son bike riding every single day. But since the weather's kind of getting a little bit off, I don't do that as often anymore.
Right.
My wife and I, like, before the whole pandemic thing, like I was telling you, we go out dancing. We used to go raving at least multiple times throughout the year. Like, that was a huge thing. We loved going out dancing and hanging out with friends. But outside of streaming, like, as a family, literally, we just like to Netflix and chill, bro. Like, Hulu, and right now we're watching Dragon Ball Z Super. Like, that's us, bro. Like, we just like to hang out and do absolutely nothing for now because we can't do anything. We're not allowed to do anything. just hang out, and whether it's hanging out with family or whether it's hanging out with just us. I mean, we recently just put up a Christmas tree, which that was the first time I've ever done that in my life, so it was cool.
But yeah, I mean, it's always good to talk about like the outside stuff when it comes to your streaming, like because most people that see us, they see us as GiLLionaire Gaming or GiLLionaire Gaming. Like, they don't always see us as Gil and Jonathan. Like, I think the more that we're implementing, our communities are learning more about us outside of the stream, outside of Call of Duty, outside of World of Warcraft.
I mean, that's kind of the reason why I've started emphasizing a little bit of a newer series on Sundays, like on my family days. I try to post like a video on that day of what we actually achieved or what we did that day, because I want to let my community know, and everyone out there, like, dude, you guys are all, even though you guys are like not here physically, you guys are all part of the GiLLionaire community and part of the guild in general. So I don't mind letting you guys into like my family. You guys could see what we do and stuff like that, which is fine. And I don't know, my wife and I have been thinking about a YouTube channel, but she's a little shy.
New development, huh?
She's
new development in the making.
New development in the making. I mean, we've talked about it multiple times, just because a lot of people keep telling us that, like, hey, it would be cool to like just see what you guys are up to, because I don't know, people think that our family is cool.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are cool, but for those of you who don't know, like, without having to bring them on camera or anything, like, bring us into like who your family is, like,
exactly.
who, like, who, like, Like, how long have you and your wife known each other?
Oh, got you. Okay, so my wife and I have known each other for say like 7 or 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been married for 6. Yeah,
Oh,
six,
dang.
6 of the 8 years. Our son
Mm-hmm.
is 6 now. He's turning
Yeah.
7 in March. And my wife and I got married when we were super young.
Mm-hmm.
I even had to ask her dad if I could marry her.
I like how
Like-
your facial expression changed.
like like really young. Had to get papers signed for that. But yeah, we did that, and then I would say throughout our first like couple years of marriage was a little bit rough, just because we were trying to still like get to know each other, and kind of we have
Mhm.
a child now, so it was like a lot of things going on at one time. But I think like this year, I would say this year and the end of last year, once we moved out and got our own spot this year,
Mhm.
that completely changed everything. That was like game changer, dude.
Yeah, it always is.
Game changer. Yeah, I mean, we've lived together with us three before, where it was only us, and it
Mhm.
was great during that time frame. Unfortunately, we had to move back, but then now that we're moved out again, we're definitely not going back. Like, our life's totally different now this year than it ever has been, for
Yeah.
sure.
But now you guys know a little bit more about Gil and his nice little family. I mean, you guys see his videos every Sunday. What he was talking about is he has family days, which is Sunday. He doesn't play any video games unless it's with his family. But they do a lot of stuff. He has a new series that he's kind of hinting
In
at the past
development.
couple weeks.
Mhm.
Every Sunday he posts something about what they're doing that day or what they did that day. It's a really cool concept that, that you're welcoming your family, because you've always told them on stream Sundays are family days. Like, we don't stream on Sunday. We don't, so the fact that you're letting people in, I think the series is cool. I know everyone that watches it, they're like, man, that's so awesome that you guys are doing that. And I know, like, I think the first like episode, if you want to call it that, not this past Sunday, but it was the Sunday before, where you guys were rearranging the living room.
Yeah, we rearranged the whole thing too. Like, so for the time that we moved in, we had it set up a specific way in our spot. And my wife and I was like, okay, well, we gotta change it up, change the vibe, so then we could for the holidays. So we moved literally everything except my streaming station that stayed in the same spot.
Yeah.
But everything else like moved, changed, and it changed the whole vibe here, bro. Like, it was totally different. It's a different feeling, and I like it though. It's great.
Yeah. So you do have some aspirations as far as getting into YouTube with your wife, and I think that's really cool. So as of today, what are like at least 1, 2, or 2 short-term goals that you have? Whether it's, in the next week I want to do this, or if it's in, by the end of the year I want to do this. Like, what are some goals for you for GiLLionaire Gaming?
Yeah, so definitely by the end of the year, I really am trying to shoot for 1,000 guild members. That would be freaking awesome to be able to have like a solid 1,000 guild members. But not only necessarily that though. Like, I think the number one like goal for GiLLionaire Gaming by the end of 2020 would just be to have an established relationship with all the genuine guild members, and obviously the Pol and Co members and everyone else. But like, I want you guys to know like that we're legit genuine about like supporting each other and being there for each other all the time. And I want you guys to also know that like one of the main goals is to see other people succeed, like Said the Wolf, or like, I want to see Reiki 209 succeed, Ruben on here, Ruben succeed, things like that. But really by the end of the year, I think the only like I would say like serious goal would just be hitting 1,000 guild members, and then just I want to definitely be able to give my giveaway, but I can't tell you guys what it is yet, because it's a specific something for the 1,000 guildies.
It's a secret.
Shh.
So now on top of that, what is like, what is your goal from today, which is, November 17th till November 17th of 2021? What is one big goal that you want to accomplish?
Yeah, my biggest goal, dude, I'm not gonna lie, like my biggest goal, even though I like my job and whatnot, is to stream full time. Like I would love to stream full time. Like and the reason for it, like I'm not gonna lie, because my wife also does a stay-at-home business too, where she does press-on nails, and she just started that this year, and she's like really good, and she's starting to get a little bit of momentum and stuff like that, and she's new to like Instagram and whatnot. So not only as she does her own stay-at-home business, but like it would be cool to stream, create content for you guys, and do it all staying at home and kind of like live off of just being able to do what we love to do. Because in the long-term goal, our goal would be to have our sustainable businesses and also be able to travel. Like we want to move different places, but the cool thing is if you do things at staying at home, it's like you could bring that with you, like, so if my family wanted to move to Washington, we can move to Washington and not really worry about a job, because we already have something sustainable and we could do it as a family, if that makes sense. So my goal, I would say my longer term goal would to be creating a guild big enough where like we're having so much fun together, but at the same time everything's sustainable, where like we as our own personal family is able to kind of travel and do things the way that we want to do it.
And that's an amazing goal. Like, you guys heard it here first. The goal for Gil is in a year from now, hopefully hitting that full-time mark.
That'd be nice.
That'd be amazing. And I mean, Gil, for those of you who haven't been in Gil's streams, I don't think that's that's too big of a aspiration for this upcoming year. I mean, you got like, I've already kind of mapped out how you're like some really positive things about your stream. Like if you guys are just tuning in, Gil is one of those streamers that, you see this Gil right here. We're just chatting and stuff. You'll hear in a little bit, whenever he goes live, you'll see a completely different, you'll see the actual GiLLionaire come out. You'll see, funny. Gil will, you can't see it. His hat's hiding it. He has a zipper that goes straight down, and when he unzips, the GiLLionaire comes out.
That's right. Dance breaks and everything.
Yes.
DJ Gil.
DJ Gil. Oh, here we go.
Right,
DJ GiLLionaire in the house.
Hey.
But a couple other things. Ruben did ask a couple of questions that I had already asked earlier in the stream, but he did have one that said, what are some challenges that you've come across? Like some big either whether it's small challenges or big challenges. So what are some challenges that you've definitely faced?
Yeah, for sure. That's a good question. First, I do want to bring up what Christine just said, just real quick. I mean, for Christine's birthday, I did a whole entire stream for Christine for her birthday. Like, I was getting messed up with her on her birthday on stream. Just saying, and that was super fun.
Yes.
So, shout out Christine. That was crazy. I did it on stream too.
That stream was on fire too.
It was definitely. Okay, so what are some of the challenges I ran across? Is emotional challenges. I've run across a lot of emotional challenges. Streaming is a huge emotional roller coaster, dude. Like huge emotional roller coaster. Because there's days where your streams are like, they're freaking popping, like it's super awesome. And then there's days where it's like, damn, bro, it's like a ghost town up in here, and you're like feeling like it's a ghost town too during the stream. But you have to still have that energy. You still have to portray yourself as, like you know. And it's hard to like be all happy about it if like you're like there's like no one there, or it feels like a ghost town or something like that. I mean, fortunately, we got a lot of awesome guild members, and we have a lot of awesome community members, so they always hop in, and you guys are freaking awesome for doing that and spending the time and hanging out with us. Like, that is great, and all of that does not go unnoticed. Like, you guys are great for even hopping in all the time. But I would say like my biggest challenge would just be emotionally, and then just being able to like get through those, because it is a huge mental, it does take a huge mental toll on you, I would say. It's
I've
that's
always
probably
thought
the worst thing, is like it takes a mental toll on you.
Yeah, I've always thought of streaming as like it's a mental game.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a mental game. It's a bunch of trials, a lot of failure. And the biggest thing when it comes to anything in life, as far as what I've found, is you're not going to be successful till you fall flat on your face. That was something I was taught through music. Is, you know, when I was in jazz, like doing a lot of jazz stuff, playing with small groups, and learning how to improvise. I had one professor that said, "Man, the best comebacks come when we hit the ground. You're playing and you just sound awful, because the next time you come around, you're not going to sound awful because of that experience." And the same thing goes with streaming. Like when you hit that, you know, I mean, everybody's seen my journey and everybody's seen your journey. Like I've been a little bit more open about when I hit like what I feel is rock bottom at that time. Like I've made posts, I've done stuff like that. And I mean, I hit where I find is a low every once in a while, because I didn't like how I was doing on the stream, not so much how the stream was doing. And like you were saying, it's a huge mental game. It is a huge mental game. So like,
and I'm sure you know that, because like that, I mean, I've even messaged you so many times. I think I've even messaged Ruben a couple of times. I messaged a couple of people. Like, man, there are times where it's just like, it's rough on your own head. And you're like, dang, like it really, it hurts too. Like I think that's the worst part, because like you have so much expectation for your stream and for yourself and for the success of it, that like it is so hard when you feel like it's not moving or it's not succeeding or something like that. Like maybe on other people's flip end, like they're like, oh no, you're like hella doing good, but I mean, in your own self, you don't ever feel that way. Like you don't feel like you've achieved what you wanted to at that time in that moment. And that's what makes it hard, because it becomes a mental game at that point. It's like, do you let yourself fall and hurt, or do you just push forward and move forward? I think that's why I posted that meme a little bit earlier today, the World of Warcraft one, where it said like to you know, embrace the past, and then or not embrace the past, but remember the past, but embrace the future. Because it was like I wanted to post that because I showed it the two Ogrimmars, how different they were back then and now. But like I was posting it because like I literally think of like my life in that way, you know. You like think about all the past things, all the failures that we've went through, and all the craziness that we've been through, like when it comes to streaming at the very beginning all the way up until now. It's like, man, you gotta embrace like what's to come too, you know. There's so much, like, dude, I can't wait till we have like heck of people. It's gonna be awesome. We have a great amount of people now, but like, can you imagine like in a year from now, dude? It's gonna be awesome, dude.
And I'm sure that message hit hard with people that aren't just gamers, like just people in general. Like everybody who saw it probably like felt that like I did. Like I was like, man, I felt attacked by that. Like remember the past, embrace the future. And I'm like, man, I need to do that.
Yeah. I mean, just like I was saying, you know, just remember the times that like were rough, because the times that were rough will lead you to the times that you're strong now, you know, and you only get stronger from the rough times anyway. So
and
those failures,
like using the respect the past, or remember the past and embrace the future. We both know exactly what it feels like to stream for nobody. You're literally just streaming for you. Like, for people who don't know, content creators are their biggest enemies or their biggest critics. Like when you, that's why for a while, like I told Gil, I told myself, I told a couple of people, turn off that follower count. Don't look, or not the follower, the live viewer count. Just turn it off. Have fun when you're playing. Because this goes back to like, what will you tell other streamers is, if you're not having fun when you're playing, or you're like focused on your viewer count, you're not going to have as much fun, and people will notice that. Your viewers aren't just who is there right then and there. People watch your VODs, your videos on demand. People watch those because you'll see when you have a really good hyped stream and you're having a lot of fun and everybody's having fun when they're watching. You know, they might not have been there today, but maybe tomorrow they're going to find your stream and they're going to watch it and they're like, this guy's awesome, and they're going to hit the follow button. You know, and that goes with when you're respecting your past. That could be something like the stream that you're having right now, like the past hour that you've been live. You respect that and embrace what could come. Like you never know where your stream's gonna go. You know, you could be having fun playing your game, and you have maybe 5 viewers. I'm gonna use somebody like Sammy Streams for example.
Boom! I was just about to say that example.
She had
too.
like 4 or 5 viewers one day, and then the baddest woman on the planet raids her stream with like 500 something people. And she was having fun learning World of Warcraft, and Ronda Rousey just comes in there and just wrecks her stream.
Literally.
Like it was amazing like when that happened. But you never know what'll happen. That's it goes back to what we were saying. You never know what will happen in a stream. Something like that could happen out of nowhere. Like you didn't do anything. Somebody just stumbled upon you and was like, let's go to this person's stream, and boom, you're like broken for a little bit.
Oh yeah. I mean that's the craziest thing is like you never know, man. You can have like literally 2 viewers in your stream, but then get raided by someone with hella viewers, and dude, that changes the whole perspective of everything, because then you get a little bit nervous, all that stuff. But if you don't even look at the viewer count, you're just enjoying the moment, like then that's all that really matters. You're enjoying the moment, like, and people will feel that through the camera, and that's all.
Right.
That's what really matters. Like if people could feel how excited you are, even if they had 1 person in there, imagine. It could be anything.
Yeah, and Christine's comment really hits home. She said, I think of it also as respecting where you started too, but be prepared for the future. That is such a strong statement right there.
Exactly.
But so I know you're going to be going live tonight. What time are you hitting that go live button?
It'll probably be like I would say in the next, I don't know, right when we're done.
So tonight, I believe it's 6 o'clock, around 6 o'clock Pacific time, whatever it is for your time zone. You know, here in about 20-30 minutes, we'll be into GiLLionaire Gaming stream. You guys are going to kind of see a little bit more of what I was talking about. Those of you who have already been there that have come over from the guild, hopefully you guys have liked this stream, you know, this interview with your idol, Mr. GiLLionaire over here. I know I've had a blast. Couple closing questions for you. So as far as your channel goes, what is your next thing? Like, I know we talked about short-term goals, we talked about long-term. What's next for GiLLionaire?
All right, that's a good question, because I've been thinking about this question for such a long time. I mean, honestly, the next thing for the guild and the next thing for GiLLionaire Gaming in general, I would say that number one thing is I do want to let you guys more into my life a little bit more, because I want you guys to know that you guys are family. So keep an eye out for like more family type videos, and more like I would say like this kind of would lead into the start of that YouTube channel I was kind of talking about a little bit,
right?
But more, I would say vlogs would be nice. That's kind of the direction of what I want to start doing with the channel, is kind of throw those in there a little bit, so you guys could see the behind the scenes and like what we're actually doing and stuff like that, and meet the family and things like that. Another thing that I would say for the upcoming little things for the guild that's coming out is like, you know, I do on a daily basis I do on a daily basis appreciate each and every one of you guys so much that like I love giveaways. Giveaways are like my biggest thing. And yeah, it is like hit the goal type of giveaways. But like, trust me when I say this, like I want to give it away. Like, and I want to do that more often than not doing it at all. So keep an eye out for more giveaways on my stream, because you know, like both me and you know that we can't necessarily announce the giveaways in our typing, but we could announce the giveaways in our stream. So if you're in the stream, you'll know what's going on, because I normally announce my giveaways pretty frequently in the stream.
Yeah.
Obviously they're goal driven giveaways, but yeah, they're goal driven, but I want to give it away, dude. Like I really want to give it away.
Yeah.
Like those are like for sure a couple of small things that you could see that's coming up, and possibly maybe branching off of Poll and Sesh and do a couple of GiLLionaire type of interviews as well, because we have a whole different audience than you do too, and we know different people and different types of people, and like I want to do this, like I kind of want to branch what you're doing, but more of like we would be doing like streamers, it would be like, it could be artists, it could be like kind of like what you're saying, you said musicians. I'm more talking about like they could be like if they're regular artists, like Pancake Art. I want you guys to meet her. She's freaking awesome. You know, just those types of things, because like I said, we're all about promoting other people and spreading the love, right? So that's
100%.
That's us giving back to other people as well, because they need exposure as much as we need exposure. But all in all, we're all one happy family, and that's what I love about it the most.
Yes.
So
and Christine might have named your thing.
Really?
Do what you love interviews.
Hey, exactly.
I like it. I like it.
DWYL.
There you go.
I like it. Christine named a lot of our stuff.
She has.
Awesome.
She's named so much. Christine's got the brains in our community, that's for sure.
Exactly.
But all right, one last question, and this is more of a Poll & Co. asking GiLLionaire question.
Yeah.
Where's the merch?
Where's the merch? Man, why you gotta blow it, bro? Look at this dude.
Where's the merch? I want a GiLLionaire shirt, dude.
Yeah, see, exactly. See, he blows the surprise for the 1K in this poll.
Hey,
why you gotta do that, man?
Hey, this is a question I've been asking you for months, and I'm making you tell everybody.
All right, I guess I could say now, goodness gracious. All right, so by the 1K, or as we come closer to the 1K, I will be unlocking merch, different type of merch. I want to do hats, shirts, sweaters, kind of like the same variety of what Poll & Co is doing. The only reason why I haven't came out with the merch yet is because I got a graphic designer working on a couple of cool designs, special designs and stuff like that. I don't want just my logo on things. I kind of want things that kind of represent the guild and the community members out there. So I'm waiting for the graphic designer to get back to me, but I know for sure it'll be by the 1,000 mark, and I'll make sure that happens. So don't worry, it's coming. It's coming.
You think he'll have it ready by next week?
Possible.
But alrighty, everybody. Please come, or please join me in thanking GiLLionaire Gaming for being here. Dude, it's been awesome interviewing you. It's been awesome watching the growth from day one to here where we are now. So Gil is so close to that 1,000 mark that he could probably smell it at this point. Not quite taste it, but he's been smelling it. I can
smell it. It smells good too.
Yes. It's been amazing having you in here, dude. I can't wait to see the rest of the growth of the channel, growing this awesome guild. You're amazing, dude.
Thank you so much. Well, Bowl and Co. All I gotta say, just wrapping it up here, man, is thank you so much for having me as your first guest for your new Bowl and Co. sessions. I truly, truly appreciate that so much, man. You have no idea. It's an honor to even be around you and be here with you on this journey. I know we talk on a daily basis, but goodness gracious, it's been so incredible just to see your growth as well. Because I remember the first time I started watching you, so like from the time I watched you until now, it's been a complete transformation.
It has.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you for even considering me to be the first guest on the show.
Of course.
And I appreciate you just helping me with all the things that you've done so far, man. And I look forward on all the upcoming things that we got going on, because I'm sure we'll be having a co-stream sometime soon. You never know. Never know.
But alrighty, guys. You guys heard it here first. You might see a Poll and Gill stream. Or a poll, what did we call it at one point? The Pollionaires.
The Pollionaires.
Yeah, you might see that. But for all of you guys at home, thank you guys for coming in here. Thank you for coming into the first Poll and Sessions stream. I guess it was the first Poll and Session is what we could really call it.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Stay tuned for Gill's stream here in about 15 minutes, about 10, 15 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, depending on how quick he recovers from all these questions, probably frying his brain. Next week on our session, we will be having the one, the only Baby Brie Gaming here Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Gill, thank you again for coming in. It's been awesome. For all of you at home, keep spreading the love. We'll see you tomorrow morning, or we'll see you in Gill's stream here in a little bit.
Thank you.